All right, we got kind of a, well, it's interesting to me kind of video, so I figured I'd share this. These are clips from the races, these last set of races we went to. And I just thought, I was curious. Maybe somebody else out there is curious, So we're going to look at a couple of clips from the races, two of them to be particular. The first one we're going to look at is going to be the 5 cube race, which would be like I think that class tops out at like 81.9 cc, that and less. So anything less than 81.9 cc. I think in the video I just titled it as 81 cc. If you hit 82 cc, you're over. You have to run the class above it. But it's what they call the 5 cube, the 5 cubic inch class. I took first place in that race. And the final race was against a gentleman named Kenny. And Kenny, if you're not familiar with the racing world, Kenny is known to be one of the best. Or a lot of people look up to him as being one of the best. And Kenny doesn't really, I don't even know if he owns any gas saws. I don't know. He might. This might have been his saw, but I'm not certain. Most of what he races is a lot more wild and crazy. I'll just say that. And this guy is a top-notch racer. I think what he did is he borrowed saws in order to race in his competition, and it was more, I don't know if he looks at it as like practice for the real big races, or if he looks at it as like helping out the guys who are organizing the races or whatever. I mean, he's a known person among the racing guys. So I think it's a borrowed saw, and it was me and him, first and second place. We had to race to figure it out. You know what I mean? So we're going to have the race, and he had an issue. The saw just shut off on him. And if you watched all the racing videos, you notice a lot of people had those issues of the saws shutting off. Are you starting to see why I'm getting into the habit of setting my saws, the idle, a bit higher than what you're typically used to seeing? That's kind of why. I've been around this stuff enough to know that that's kind of a common problem at the races, is saws shutting off at the start. It can be quite problematic, if you know what I mean. It can cost you dearly. So I set my saws up to idle a little higher than what most people do, and I'll be honest, I've never had one stall on me at the starting line like this. So I'm going to show you the footage, and then I'm going to come back in and say something. And we're going to watch the footage a second time because we're going to do something. Alrighty, a little magic editing. So check it out. This is how the race actually happened, and you're going to see his saw shut off on him. So it was a clear, easy victory for me. I took first place. Check it out.
Okay, let's get this main event going. Let's get it going. This is our main event for our third event today. All right, so let's go.
Timer's ready. Contestants ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so yeah, that was an easy win, wasn't it? It's nice when the other guy screws up or has an issue like a saw not starting. If they disqualify, you automatically move forward. It's an easy victory. But once he made contact with the wood, it was a race. So I was curious. Are you curious? Like, what would have happened if we both had a good start and we both made good clean cuts? So I edited this footage. Basically what I did is I edited it to where when both saws first made contact with the wood, that's the race. Okay. even though he had that issue or whatever, I decided to go ahead and set up like that. I was curious to see if I would have been able to outrun him just in the cuts, you know? So that's what I did, and I figured I'd share it. And I don't usually do these comparison videos like this, so this is rare for me. The only footage that I've been taking like this is coming from racing. So, in comparing, I guess you could say. So, it's an opportunity to get for you guys to check out some comparing on this channel, you know. I don't usually do it, but hey, we're at the races. I mean, this is it. This is when we really compare them. You know what I mean? Your saw, your chain, and everything against mine. I mean, that's what we're doing. So why not? You know, we're going to show it here and check it out, and you'll get to see what happens if both of us got to start the race cleanly. So I edited it to where both saws first contact with the wood, and you can get to see the results. Can any of you identify what saw he was running in this race? I'm curious of that. I'm not very good with steel. I'm not a fan of steel saws. There's very few that I like, and the ones that I like are a little older, like the 36, the 46. You know, all these newer ones. About the only one I like is the 400, but only if I give it to Charlie Briscoe to build it. You know what I mean? Or somebody like him. But Charlie's the one who usually does a lot of my builds for me. He's one of the first people I'll go to. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, I like the 400, but only after it's been to him first. In stock form, I'm not, you know, I'd rather pick up a 365 special, be honest. I prefer 365 special over a 400. It's just my preference, you know? But anyway, enough rambling. I'm stalling, aren't I? Here you go. You get to see the results of the race. Check it out.
Contestants ready. Contestants ready. 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, go. 1, go.
All right, great job, guys.
Alrighty, there you go. Pretty interesting there. I outran him, no problem. I think it was a borrowed saw, but I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just guessing, really. I don't know what saws he owns or doesn't. I mean, he and I have spoken before, but never for more than a minute or two in passing, you know. We've never really got to sit down and talk and, you know, or anything like that. So I don't know what he owns. I think I heard his brother say that he didn't own any gas saws because his brother races too. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kenny was the same way, just borrowing stuff. And I think he's doing it to support the racing. So, you know. But anyway, I promised you 2 races. Now we're going to check out the second race. This was my second place finish. The 4 cube. This is 65cc and less, 4 cubic inches. We call it 4 cube. It's 4 cubic inches, and we're going to check out this race next. I took second with it, and this was probably the tightest race of the day. Definitely, probably one of the most popular races of the day, and just because of how close it was. It was so extremely close. And it was a battle for first and second place. Both running the same saw, the Pullin Pro, 48 millimeter top end. You know what I mean? So this was a race of all races, because you'll see Steel versus Husqvarna and Johnson Red and Echo and everything else. Well, this was Pullin versus Pullin, both up more 48 millimeters, basically the same thing, built differently, built by different people. We're at the races. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? So this is it. This is how it turned out. So check it out. It was a really tight race. I'll tell you what.
Timer's ready. Contestants ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
talking about.
All right, how'd you like that? Could you tell the winner? I mean, on video like that, it's hard to tell the winner. They had to go back and review the footage to figure out who the winner was. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically do the same thing for you. I am going to slow it down as slow as I possibly can, and you'll actually get to see how the race progressed from go to the first moment of getting contact with the wood. Like, you'll actually be able to see who made it to the wood first. And I can tell you, just barely though. The first cut, I think we came out pretty much even, which means he made up that, 10th of a second difference there was making contact with the wood. He was able to make it up by the end of the first cut. The second cut, I couldn't tell which of us made it out of that one first. It wasn't until the last cut that, if you really, really pay attention, you're going to see he eked out just a freaking hair before me, which is why I was looking at that saw about retuning it and trying to make it trying to edge just a little more out of it at the races, because that saw of his is probably going to be there in October at Sawfest, and I'm probably going to have to race him again. So, you know what I mean? It'll be different though, because in October though, we're racing the clock. So all the cuts are timed. There's far too many competitors. It's a 2-day event. So we don't race head to head. You race like 4 guys at a time, and everything is just timed. That's how most racing is done. It's all timed. But let me go ahead and put this footage up before I start rambling too much. And you can check it out in slow motion. Listen to the 3, 2, 1, go. It sounds kind of demonic. Alrighty. All right, there you go. Boy, that race was close. It was so close. But I was curious. I was sitting there in the house yesterday, actually. I was just thinking to myself, you know what? I wonder if Kenny would have beat me if his saw wouldn't have stopped or shut off or whatever. So I got my phone out, and did the editing and stuff. And I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to share this with these guys. So that's what I'm doing. Kenny's a great guy. Everybody associated with Sawfest is just fantastic. If you watch the video, there's a gentleman at the end of the video talking to me. That's the guy. That's Eric. He's the main dude that we all kind of look up to for the Sawfest organizing and all that stuff. He's the guy. That's the main dude. So Eric is an awesome dude. I've got to sit down and have a lot of conversations with him. It's just awesome. The races happen at his house. So, they build a stage for us and stands, and he welcomes us to his house and sets this all up. You know what I mean? He managed to get this whole committee of people together to help organize. and do the races and getting a PA system in place. And they do raffles. So like Farmer Tech is sending a couple of brand new saws to raffle off, and Neotech might be sending some stuff, and other competitors like Matt House. I think Matt House he's sending some muffler mods in to be raffled off. I'm thinking about sending something. I just don't know what it is. But I'm going to try to send something this year. I just don't know what. So, I don't know. Maybe I could give them a saw, but these saws aren't that spectacular. You know? I don't know. I'm going to try to think of something to give to be raffled off. And, yeah, the racing was spectacular. Had a lot of fun. And I thought you guys would enjoy this little video. I want to see if there's anything else I could do on this footage. I don't think there is, because I'm going to have to delete it from my phone. You know, the phone memory only holds so much, and I do all of my videos from the phone. So eventually I'm going to have to delete them. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else from the races that I want to put videos together and share with you. And right now, nothing comes to mind. So we'll see. I'm trying to stall with that deletion of videos as much as I can until I know for certain, you know, because once it's gone, it's gone. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Clear victory. It didn't matter. Took first place in a 5 cube, no problem. It was pretty clear victory there. And the 4 cube race, man, that was fast. I'm actually considering running that 4 cube saw in the 5 cube races this year at Sawfest. Thinking about it. I should see which one's faster. I should compare my 4 cube and 5 cube builds. I should compare them and see which one's faster. Because if that 4 cube is faster, run it in the 5 cube too. Right? So anyway, hey, we'll catch you in the next one. Later.